Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of Robert Ballou and the night the Crips became known to the world. March 20th, 1972. The biggest event that all teens and young adults wanted to go to was the Hollywood Palladium Soul Train event. The popular Chicago-based dance show was hosting its first event in Hollywood. All the talk around the city was about this up-and-coming show. From people from Watts, South Central, Compton, Inglewood, Gardena, and several other areas surrounding LA went to the show. In 1972, the Palladium had people at the show like Curtis Mayfield and Wilson Pickett. This was a concert to be at and to be remembered, but not just for the music. It was a successful show, but the aftermath turned out to be a tragedy. Shortly after the concert ended, on Sunset Boulevard, several young Crips, which was a newly formed gang at the time, was running wild on the street. Several young Crips flooded the streets. The Crips were a newly formed gang at the time, which has only been around for a few years up until that point. The Crips were running wild and trying to make a name for themselves, and they all would go to that concert. A young Crip named James Cuz Cunningham saw a boy with a long black leather jacket. He told his crime partner Judson Baycott, "I want that coat." Judson knew they was going to take that coat that night. Cuz and Judson crossed the south side of Sunset Boulevard and locked in on a 16-year-old concert goer named Charles. Charles was with two of his friends, one of them being a 16-year-old named Robert Ballou. Cuz called out to Charles, who was about 20 feet away from him. He would say, hey dude. Charles would say, me? Cuz said, yeah, what's up man, I like that coat. Charles would try to walk away and say, I do too. By then, Judson, who was 22, and Cuz, who was 19, they was on him. Take your jacket off, I want it, said Cuz to Charles. Judson pulled his gun out and said this is a robbery, don't make it a homicide. But Judson did not fire his gun. Cuz allegedly punched and robbed Charles while Robert ran and was said to be beaten by another group of Crips. It was so many Crips at the event, it was said that Robert had been beaten by 20 Crips. This beating led to Robert's death. The coroner's office would summarize the death of Robert as him being beaten by fists and feet. Charles would later be interviewed by the police. Charles' grandma would force him by force to tell the police what happened, and he would say it was the Crips that did it. The police had never heard of the Crips, and this was the first time hearing of the gang, but it wouldn't be the last. By the next day, police had several suspects, some being Judson, Cuz, a man named Bobby, and a man named Bub. The killing of Robert became known as the Hollywood Leather Jacket Murder. Robert's death was marked the first murder that the Crips became known for. His murder was deemed uncalled for and pointless, with them killing an innocent person over a jacket. But many more people will be killed by gangs for more pointless reasons. This happened in 1972, but by the years, things will only get worse, and the Crips will become a worldwide gang. Robert was only 16 and was said to be a football star who had a bright future ahead of him, coming from a background where his father was a lawyer. He had no gang ties and was just an innocent concert goer. RIP to him. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.